Leigh Stocker from Summercrest is in studio. Leigh, good morning.
Good morning.
Your headphones working?
I think
good?
so.
You
Yeah,
good?
this is working. I turned up the volume.
You got the volume? You good?
I got the volume. I can hear you. It's like music to my ears. It's wonderful.
It is.
Happy Monday to me.
If you need me to, I will record messages on your phone. Like, you have a phone call. Or
do I have to pay you for that?
Leigh is busy. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll pass.
I worked with a guy when I worked down in Portsmouth. He used to do voiceovers, and he'd make $100 a minute.
Seriously?
For doing voiceovers. And he would do voices for insert disc into DVD drive. Push play. Like, somebody has to do that.
Oh, my God.
So
I'm in the wrong
Oh, I know.
arena.
Me too.
It's funny because I've had people tell, well, I don't really, okay, I guess everybody has a distinctive voice, right?
Yes.
So, but, doing the radio I've been doing this for Summercrest for many years now with WCNL and WNTK. And it's been a great marketing tool for us because I'll talk to them, I'll say hi, or we'll be on the phone or whatever. They're like, oh, why do I know you? And it's because they recognize my voice from listening.
Right.
And so, so I get that a lot. Like, oh my God, you have a great voice. You have a great radio voice. But I'm like, first of all, I think I sound like a 12-year-old prepubescent boy is what I think I sound like.
Okay.
But people are like, oh, you have a great radio voice. So maybe I'm just in the wrong
Avenue. Like,
industry altogether.
If you want...
can you put me in touch with some people? An hour or a minute?
A minute.
Well, still
$100
an hour is pretty good.
It's pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one time, like he went in, recorded something, and then he's like, "I just made $600." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Oh my God! Oh my God! You know what? See, when I was like 13, I should have been made aware of these opportunities.
Yeah.
Because I could have saved a lot of money on college. Yeah, I could be making a lot of money.
Oh, for real. You know what's disappointing is I have never been exposed to this myself.
You haven't, which is weird because you're on the radio and you record ads all the time.
Right. This guy he had that voice, the national,
the voice, like that guy that was that homeless guy, that they found whatever, and
Kansas City or something.
Yeah, I can't remember where it was, but
he got that deep voice.
Yeah, and he ended up being famous in like 30 seconds. Jerk.
I know. Jeez Louise. I do not make $100 a minute.
I do not make $100 an hour.
I know, right?
I mean, sometimes I have, I'm assuming, but if you lay it all out in the grand scheme of how many hours we work per year, like 2,000 hours per year, I'm not making $100 an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, someday.
Keep working towards it.
Yeah, gotta have goals, right?
Yeah, you will get there someday.
I will.
Yeah. So here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
Fall time.
What's happening at Summercrest?
I know, right?
Well, COVID's still happening, so in the world, so we're really still limited as to what we can do. So everything's kind of quiet, but right now is a good time of the year for me for it to be quiet because this typically is right during the middle of my busy time of the year, my busy season for what I do. So what I do is I basically move people in. I'm responsible for keeping the building full of people. So anytime anybody calls or emails or makes an inquiry through our website, I'm the contact person and the point person that will lead them through the whole process. So what ends up happening, of course, now it's starting to get cold. I mean, geez, Louise, it's been like 40 at night. I think the other morning I woke up, my thermometer said 37.
It's 54 right now.
Well, it's like a heat wave. And
no, I know, but I'm, 3 months ago, this would have been freezing. And now you're like, it's 54.
Yeah, absolutely. So now it's only going to get worse, basically. I'm just telling all you people out there, it's only going to get worse. So call me now.
Well, isn't this really the time of year, too, that I know it does turn into your busy season for a multitude of levels that you coming up on the holiday season where families get together and you start noticing things, or you might have your mom or dad that's home alone that doesn't want to rake or shovel or take care of the stuff or have a fall hazard. Yeah,
and I mean other things too are worrying about getting to doctor's appointments during the winter, worrying about getting groceries during the winter, worrying about if something happens with your heating system during the winter. There's all sorts of things that make life a lot more difficult during the winter, especially for older people. Not older like you and I, but elderly people.
We're getting there.
No, you're getting there.
You're older than I am.
Yes, this is true, but I'm still 21 at heart.
You are.
Yeah, this is true.
You are. Good point.
So there's a whole lot of things going on as to why people are really start looking at a senior living community for the winter time. And I have a lot of people also that inquire like, hey, can mom and dad come for like December, January, February, March, April? Well, so that's about the end of winter, right? April. People want to come for the winter as well.
Can you do that?
They can, absolutely. Okay. So, I mean, so here's the thing. So we have what we call short-term stays, which can be a month or two, and you pay like a daily rate rather than the monthly rate. So the daily rate's a little bit higher than the monthly rate. So we can do respite stays for a specified amount of time. Or if people do come in and want to stay for the winter, they would sign a lease. It is a 12-month lease, but it can be terminated for any reason with a 30-day written notice. So, somebody wants to come from December till the end of April. So April 1st, they submit a notice to me that says, Dear Leigh, I'm terminating my lease effective April 1st. They're only responsible till the end of April. So they can stay all the way through the end of April, but then their lease is terminated and they're not responsible for the remainder. So there's two ways to do it. And I recommend doing it that way because it's like you actually save a little bit of money.
Sure.
I mean, I think the difference is maybe between $600 and $800 a month that you save if you sign the lease as opposed to doing the respite stay. But, hey, $700 is $700.
Now, respite, do you have to furnish everything or is that already furnished?
So here's a good question. A respite is already furnished. So we do furnish it. If the respite does turn into a long-term stay, then that person does need to bring their own furniture, which is something else I can help with. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't think about moving. I have too much stuff. I got, who's going to move it? I have an answer for that. I have somebody who will move your stuff for you.
Nice.
Who's very, efficient and cost effective. So, all of these little things that, people come up with for objections as to why not to do it when they know that they should. I've got an answer for that.
Now, what's the general reason somebody would do a respite?
A couple of reasons. If a person, an elderly person, say, is living at home and their major caregiver needs to go on vacation or needs to go do something. So that person, the elderly person would come and stay with us so that that person can go and do what they need to do. So a lot of people are very safe at home as long as they have somebody checking in on them regularly. But if that person is unable to, respite is a good time or is a good choice for that period of time. Another thing is a lot of times people will have a hospital visit or go to rehab from the hospital and not be quite ready to go home, but not be completely in need of hospital or rehab care. And if you are staying in a hospital longer than Medicare will pay for, it's like $1,000 a day that they charge you if Medicare stops paying. And then if you're staying in a rehab facility for longer than Medicare will pay for, it's quite expensive as well. You pay their daily rate, which is typically higher than the daily rate for assisted living. So it is a cost savings to not stay in the hospital and to not stay in rehab if you've exhausted the services that they can legally provide you under your insurance. So that's another option too. So if you're not quite ready to go home, but you're way too well to be in the nursing home, you can stay with us for respite for a couple of weeks, couple of months, whatever works.
Okay, it's funny. We've been doing this all this time, and we've really touched on the respite stuff.
Yeah, that's very funny. We don't ever do that, do we?
No, not at all.
Yeah, well, it's a really great option. And another reason that people do that is because they want to see if they like it. I mean, even though you can terminate your lease for any reason with a 30-day written notice, it still feels like a commitment because it kind of is. If you're doing a lease, you're required to bring your own furniture and furnish your own apartment, yada, yada. But if you're doing respite and you want to just see if the community is the right fit for you, so is Summercrest the right place, and you want to feel it out, a respite's a great opportunity to figure that out.
Sure.
So many reasons that people do respite. It's not only for the person who is ill. Also, sometimes, if you have a husband and a wife staying at home, that person may need a break from being the primary caregiver. So let somebody else take over. Let your kid take over and come and stay for, at the house for a week if the sick person cannot leave the house, and then a healthy person can come and have a little vacation.
Sure.
So that doesn't happen that often, but it's an option. So
863-8181 is your number if somebody is interested in this or learning more.
Yep, at 863-8181. Just ask for Leigh. My email is lstocker@summercrest.net. And also, if you go to our website, which is summercrest.net, there's a tab that says Leadership Team. And if you click on that, you'll see my picture. If you click on my picture, it'll take you right to my email.
A very stunning picture. It's the background of my phone. I have it in my wallet.
I still look at this poster of me. I was
there.
shocked to see this when I came in this morning. Life-size poster.
If you could frame, excuse me, if you can sign the frame, I'd appreciate that.
I need a cardboard cutout.
That's on order. It's the backlogged. There's a supply chain issue right now.
Oh, shocking.
I know. It's stuck at the port, but it's on its way. I ordered it through Fathead.
Oh, if you got it.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of makes sense.
What else going on? Anything else?
Honestly, it's quiet with activities. We're still restricted as to what we can do activity-wise. As far as having groups come in and do presentations, stuff like that. But everything's plugging along. Life is good here.
Sure.
So, but that's about, I think, I don't know, and nothing exciting personally going on. So, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. That's all I got.
This week is over. Bam.
I'm going home.
There you go. All right, Leigh, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
Very good. Thank you.
863-8181, lstocker@summercrest.net.